Okay, I hope we are here. Hi, everyone. Um, yeah. Oh boy, it's been yeah. It's been exactly. 3 days that I haven't been with y'all. I hope you all missed me. And we are back to the stream. Before we start, of course, I'm going to send out the thing. So, Kandachi, we are back and we are drawing a new illustration. So, folks, we haven't done much illustrations lately. We've been on a low. And with those, and I have to admit I was missing this, but I guess we can all say that we're now back to this, so I'm really happy to have all of you here, and I'm really happy that we can stream and draw together. So, as always, I do hope you will enjoy spending some time with me. And yeah, before we get to it, I'm going to send out that I'm streaming actively. And yeah, I was dealing with a lot. I had a brain fog. I couldn't think straight. Basically, I had a lot of issues and I really needed some time because I was in a place where I was like, I don't know why, but a lot of things stacked up on me. I just needed some time. But now I'm really hoping that all of you, are here with me. Right? I'm really hoping that we will be able to go around stuff. But yeah. Also, YouTube is not working as it's supposed to. Okay, cool, whatever. And yeah, we are going to draw Mori Calliope. Let me just quickly check if actually I'm streaming actively, check if my stream is shown as, currently streaming, because actually you never know. Live, yeah, it should be shown up on the thing. Yeah, should it? Yeah, it is. Okay. Alrighty. So, yeah, folks, we are going to draw a new illustration, and the illustration that I am actually going to just that I'm going to actually just draw right now, and we'll see where that's going to go. So the illustration that we have is Mori Calliope from Hololive. We're going to draw her as a jazz singer. I guess it's going to be like very like typical pose, I guess. Well, maybe not. Maybe I'm going to make some changes, but what's most important is that I was still drawing when I wasn't streaming, and I was experimenting a little bit, so that's that. And I'm going to what I am going to admit it is, definitely something. To be back. I really miss ya. I really miss ya, folks. There were several days where I wasn't streaming, so I couldn't like talk with y'all. I couldn't, you know, hang out with y'all. So that actually got me good. So yeah. And yeah, no face cam because it's still hot, but outside there's a thunderstorm actually. Which is really bad, right? Like you can hear the thunder claps and stuff. So that's pretty bad. What did I do actually? Oh yeah, I actually went ahead and watched a little bit more One Piece today, even. So I've watched some One Piece. I'm on episode, I think, 612 or something like that. So I'm almost there with things, you know? I'm almost there with things. So yeah. I had to also save the thing, so. It's a brand new thing. And yeah, you know? Got some more ideas. You know, here's the thing. Before I went on the hiatus, this small hiatus, 3 days off from streaming, I was struggling a little bit with how I want everything to kind of appear, you know? I wanted to make a plan. Like I wanted to make those videos, right? With deep dives and stuff. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to make the deep dives and but the deep dives I've made kind of didn't fit into my like vision how I wanted the things to be. So I had to scrape off all 3 videos. I still have a bunch of videos from for gaming channel from my GT5 recording sessions, which I've of course took a break from because I need to, you know, do stuff. Also, apparently there should be a message somewhere. And I have to admit, there is actually a problem with both YouTube and Twitch. So I am hoping actually that everyone is capable to, you know, still see messages. Oh, hi, hello. Now I can see your thing, Muto. Hi, Muto. Got to have you here. How are you, Brian? How's it going? Yeah, it was brought to my attention by Muto on Discord. The messages were not shown. Now we are where we're supposed to be. Hello. Yeah, finally. Yeah, actually, I was scared for a moment there. I thought actually that, you know. But yeah, so. I'm kind of like wondering how I want to position Kali. So that's why I'm like kind of focusing for now on the head. I don't have to like change do so many things. I just don't know how I want to position her body, because like I want her to be like compact, like, you know, like you know what I'm saying? Because like she's supposed to like sing jazz, right? Like she's supposed to have like really jazzy like personality to it, right? So like she's kind of like, you know, putting her head to the side, so like her head is being like this. You know what I mean? But like I guess like it would be good if I would make it like this, kind of. This like Z. Also hope that YouTube is going to work good with the messages from now on. Unless it's not. Because actually YouTube is acting weird today. Like it actually freezes up my my board. Like YouTube itself just freezes up. I think I'd go on it like this. So I'm sorry anyone like, you know, affected by this. You can feel free to go to Twitch. I think Twitch should be able to show your messages with no issues. Like I'm like genuinely I'm hoping that it's just chat, not like I hope that no one is just writing any messages, because I don't see any. No, that's going to be a bizarre view. Okay, I guess it should work. Oh boy, okay. Anyway, let's just hope that everything's going to be okay. First stream in 3 days. I've done some changes to my OBS a little bit, so I could have couple profiles. I'm currently on my streaming profile, so I would have proper accesses and stuff. So yeah. I think there might be something going on with the servers, because I don't see any issues with my internet actually. But yeah, we'll see. I might need to change the bitrate again, because like I was, even if there would be some issues with my internet, like I probably should have looked up a pause. I mean, I have like a pause, but like I want to change it a little bit. That's the thing. I see. Yeah. In the worst case scenario, I'll try to change the pose. It's kind of like very same pose that you see in usually for jazz singers. Also, that hat, damn, the hat from my thumbnail. I've got it only because I wanted to make like a thumbnail with some reference photos, right? And like I looked at it and I was like, you know what? Actually, this hat is really good. Let me add it to my references, and I couldn't find it anywhere again. And I'm sad now. I guess I could like like image search it to, you know, get that specific one. But yeah. Also, yesterday I've watched Five Deadly Nights 2, or well, you know, Five Nights at Freddy's movie. So I have to admit it was pretty nice. It was pretty nice. Like I am kind of now confused about how Marionette was operating and, you know, everything connected with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that some of those you know, animatronics were evil, some were good, but just wanted like, you know, were kind of like sour that nobody helped them or something, or like they didn't have any idea that it wasn't the main character that we're playing as is not the person who killed them in the first place. But Marionette now is like kind of a bit different. It's like kind of changing stuff. Like we knew that there was like a one specific girl through all of that, right? But that became Marionette. But I had no idea that actually that she would be like that. Okay, wait. I think I have to put down, put these slightly higher like this. Yeah, to hide this ball slightly behind like that. And now make the pelvis kind of like this. Yeah. So yeah, I do hope actually that all of you were doing good while I wasn't here, you know? I have to admit, I feel much better. And to be fair, yeah, the requests, I've noticed that not that many people were using the request on Discord. Here, I thought that most of us would be on Discord. Mm. Okay. And there. Also, I don't know what environment I want to give her. Like, I think it would be cool to give her like some scene or something like that, but yeah, I guess like some easy environment. I might just as well like find some jazz club background or something like this and just um check it up a little bit here and there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, back to the deep dives. I kind of actually worked out deep dives a little bit and reworked the way how I want to actually represent that. So because like the previous one was just talking about the art style and that was it, which is definitely not what I want. Um, the new format is actually going to show you how I'm going to decompose everything into simple shapes and construct my own character in One Piece style, basically, right? Like talk about how how to construct evil characters or good characters in this. Like what is the difference between the two, or just anything. Because actually, One Piece has a very specific way of portraying characters. Like for example, the sheer sake that certain straw hats are of different nationality. Like for example, how Luffy should be Brazilian, and how other characters should like come from other nationalities, and you can kind of see in them the difference. Like they're wait, should Luffy be Brazilian? Was it Luffy Brazilian? I think Usopp was Brazilian, but I don't know now. I don't know. I'll be real though. The actors for the live action were picked really nicely. I really like those. I'm really hoping, that soon they are going to release a new, um, you know, new thing, new season. I think they're recording it even now. But also Wednesday. I think Wednesday lost its charm, but I really liked it. I mean, like, Wednesday lost its charm because, like, uh, it lost the hype train. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was cool at some point, but now it's not really. And like, people are wondering now, like, what would happen if anything. And I've gotta be real with ya. I would really like if another one would be made. Actually, like another season, at least one more. But I guess they could like add a little bit more to it. I feel like with One Piece it might be also the same issue. Unfortunately, Netflix is really slow with recording the seasons. But maybe it's for the best, you know, because the One Piece live actions stuff, right, is like overseen by Oda. And I've gotta be real with you, that news, that, you know, just this, like, I think all of us know already that Netflix is not really good with keeping up with proper sources, right? Like, The Witcher proved it all. That's why I do feel, you know, like they've, you know, mm, all things considered, that actually I've lost my train of thought. So I don't. We all know how Netflix messed up The Witcher just because they weren't really keeping up with proper sources. Now Oda was picking up the actors, and Oda was picking is, you know, overlooking the overlooking, looking over the, watching over actually. So Oda is watching over like the production of that live action One Piece, and you can see that actually it's good. Like the whole anime is actually anime. The whole live action is actually good. So yeah, you know, you can actually see the, like, how good, how to say this. So Netflix is really bad at writing. They have really bad scenario writers who don't know anything about actually writing with, well, based off of, I want to say that they don't know anything about writing with the source material, but at this point, with all the things we've seen, I actually think like most of their you know, most of their people don't know how to actually operate with the source material, or don't know how to write. It's one of those two things, okay? Like, okay, it's good not to be able to work with the source material, but then like just try to take it for the account, or they just don't know how to write at all, so they don't care about the source material because, you know, yeah. Like, that's why I do believe that maybe with all the help, they are going to learn a couple things, and they are going to actually start making much better series with the proper source material for writing. Because like, if Netflix is working on their own thing, that's cool. Like their own set, like their own stories are cool because, like, you know that it's supposed to be work like this. But the moment you know the source, right? So the moment you know the source, everything kind of collapses. Like this, like facade of something good is just dropping because, like, by knowing the source material, you know that something is off. That something shouldn't be like this. Like, for example, it was with actually, shoot, who was playing The Witcher, the same guy who was playing Clark Kent, Superman. Uh, Cleveland? No. Well, whatever. that guy, right? He actually understood the source material. He read The Witcher and played games. So the moment he actually read the like scenario, he was like, "But it's not right. It's not with the source material." And they started like pissing him off with it. So that's why he dropped his his role. I actually have to say chapeau bas, because some actors would actually stay with the thing, but he chose morals over quote unquote career, because like, come on, usually those are like very fragile, like one small thing and you're out of the window, like, and he doesn't want you in his freaking toy collection, you know what I'm saying? So like, with that, all things considered, I am really happy that he decided to go with it, and I do believe and hope that he's going to get something much better, to be fair. Because it might be also really difficult for him to find something. But yeah. And well, I don't think there are any games that I'm waiting for right now, to be fair. Like the new God of War, I've been watching God of War so far, so meh. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to play the new Gothic, because well, Gothic is Gothic, right? It's a game from the past, and I don't think they've done a good job making it, although I have fun watching people play it. But I don't think it's actually a good way to go with it. Or at least it's not for me. There you go. It's not for me. I recommend for y'all who never played Gothic to play it, but it's not for me. Like, also the sheer sake of like people who are promised, in the collector's edition, the like, that mask, which is like, logo of Gothic 1, right? Out of like casted in metal, and they just received some like Chinese, sorry, like, okay, I think everywhere it's something to say, but sorry, some cheap plastic thing. That's what I mean. So yeah, it kind of like, broke me. Say, because again, like, people were promised something but they didn't receive it, so that kind of saddens me. Piranha Bytes is no more, so now something like some other company is taking care of it. And when I've heard it's actually the same company that made Gothic 4, which is just Arcania. It's not actual Gothic. Yeah, you know. Oh, buddy. Because like the game, like they've changed the way how they are naming the game. Because so far you've had Gothic 1, 2, 3, and then it was Arcania Gothic 4. And then they've actually erased Gothic 4 from the name because fans were so angry at it. Because the game was so bad. I'm actually not shocked. Ooh. I kind of want to check Alex. though, because I've heard that it's gothic but sci-fi, and it was made by Piranha Bytes before they dropped. They dropped dead. But yeah, things are taking time. Things are taking time. I still have like 3 things to shade, but you know, I'm actually taking a break by drawing this. So yeah. Also, apparently there was already a new trailer, or at least just something to say about the new Spider-Man. I kind of expected to have like, you know, Black Spider-Man there, or Venom Spider-Man. They're going in a really good way, to be fair. I'm really hoping that I really hope that they are not going to retcon Venom movies. Although Venom movies were done by some other studio, I am really hoping that either they're going to remake Venom movies and we're actually going to have like straight up, you know, Venom, but with the new thing. But yeah, because like the previous studio, I think like kind of, you know, went with Venom, and they kind of connected this with the last thing, right? Because like we've seen like Spider-Man's battle with Mysterio in the last Venom that we've seen, and we've seen that Venom was like you know, interested with him, so that was like kind of a good lead. But if we've seen those two connected together, yeah, there are things, you know, there are things, there are places for something cool. I think I should precise a bit better what I'm drawing, but I think my thumbnails should, you know, say enough. We'll see actually where I'm going with everything. right? I don't know why I've pushed her so much to the side like this. So I gave her like really long legs. I think I've messed up the construction for the legs here because she's kind of like the thing. But to be fair, I've made her kind of like standing kind of like this, this and this, right? And from the side, she's kind of like this and this. So like that's actually shortening her a little bit when it comes to the body. So like the body is kind of like diagonally like this. Right? Righty? And yeah. So the new technique actually that I've learned when I was away is to just correct everything with eraser. So like stacking the lines one on top of another and just, you know, drawing on top of it with the thing. So just basically as I'm drawing my construction, I'm automatically slowly but surely like limiting the amount of lines I've got, and then I'm just, you know, ending with finished character, I guess. Yep. But actually the ear is kind of meh. Hmm, kinda. Okay, maybe that works. Just maybe. Yep. Perfect. And let's get now Mori here. Had to sneeze too. Oh my. And everything hurts now. I hate this. It was one of those sneezes. Ah, god damn it. Do you also have those where you sneeze and like absolutely your whole body starts to ache? I have way too many as of recently. Okay. And the eyes, which are sharp ones. Yeah, she has sharp eyes. They're going to appear like semi-closed. Because we're looking at her from the top. Kind of, actually. Looking at her from the top. Not fully, but you know. And those are going to be bigger. Huge eyes. I think I've made her forehead a bit too big. Slightly lower. Yeah. And it's more like we're actually going to need that. Then the bottom one. And that eye needs to be higher. Actually, you know, what am I doing? That mouth is off-putting. I really like the eyes. The eyes fit. Now, how the heck should I find the nose and mouth? So the nose should be here, I think. Oh yeah, like this maybe. Oh yeah, that actually works, I think. Alrighty. So now her hairline needs to be changed slightly. And actually, it works. But I think now her head is too small. So I need to like expand her head a little bit. I think I've achieved what I wanted, but I accidentally like made her head smaller in the process, I guess. Yeah, because it still needs to be slightly bigger. Smaller, like this. Yeah. Damn. Can you imagine? So all the hairs are going to be like pulling down like this. Because that's like how the gravity goes, right? So I need to keep that in mind while making her fringe and other hairs. Hmm. Okay. Then I'm wondering, do I want to actually go for that hat? Kind of. What do you think, folks? Hat, no hat. What you'll think? I think no hat, personally. Okay. I guess. But now I'm also wondering, because like she has this like cape, kind of, you know what I'm saying? And a veil. So I think I would keep her like dress change her like sleeves and gloves for like a long, like jazzy gloves, because I like her outfit, her classic dress. It kind of still looks jazz like, you know what I'm saying? And and I think just adding like some additional element around might work better on that note. Yeah, those legs are off-putting. They're kind of messed up, aren't they? Damn it. Damn it. Let's change the legs then. They should be kind of like shrinking in, so I'm just going to, you know what I'm saying? And kind of like this. And look at that. Ain't that beautiful? Actually, that works. They actually look good. And it also fixes a couple problems, but also generates more problems, because now, like, hi Ren, glad to have you here. How are you? Hope Ren has gone. I've been good. Had like 3 days off to gather up my mind about a couple things, you know? Just thinking. I think like slightly smaller though. No, I see. Time for a paper fan. Yeah. I have like a fan, but it's, oh, look at that, 29 degrees Celsius in my room. And I think I could open my window now, but I'm too cautious about it. I don't want like rain getting into my room. You know what I'm saying? And Ren, how have you been? Huh? How have you been? Come on. Can't wait to hear from you. Been good, just studying a bit for tomorrow exam. I see, I see. Good luck, actually. Good luck. I believe in you. Never give up. Right? Is thunderstorm going right now? Yes, it is, unfortunately. Like I can still hear outside like thunders clapping, you know, somewhere far away. Like I can also still hear like rain's hum, and it's like really intense rain. Apparently it's going to rain this whole night, so I might not be able to run AC at all. That's why I'm like, you know, trying to keep myself in a way like this. So yeah. I was got electrocuted during a thunderstorm long time ago. Damn. Now we have those, you know, metal rods in the ground, so ain't good. Unless a thunder is going to hit right through the window. But it didn't so far. Damn, I would kill now for the face cam because I actually like looked around and like with slight silence, like, is it going to hit me or not? Is your audio a little low today? I guess it could be. No, it's not. It shouldn't be. Actually, I'm picking my mic almost. And I've actually boosted my gain to 3 dots, so. And I was usually streaming at 2. So I guess it shouldn't. What kind of dress are you thinking about? It's her dress, like from the original design, because we are drawing Mori Calliope from Hololive. So I'm using her original dress design for it. Hi Gareth, glad to have you here. How are you? Hope how's going? I see this is the first time around, so hope you find the comfy corner here. How are you? Oh, the original. Yeah. This like black dress that she had. It's very jazz-like, actually. So it's really cool for the thing. Also, she recently had this, you know, jazz songs streams, so I actually went in and got this idea. It was going to be something like a party dress. I'm fine. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Well rested, actually. I thought so too, Ren. About the dress, I thought so. I thought so too. But there is actually a thing going on. So basically, I didn't. All I see is pitch black. Damn! Wait, really? I don't think it should be. Yes. Huh. Well, I don't like that. I didn't know actually. Uh, damn. That's actually no good. You know why though? I think. Um. So the dress itself should be more like I thought about the party dress, but actually then I thought like okay, but like I don't think it would fit Mori. And like oh how I can adjust her design to the jazz singer, you know? So we actually took her original design, which has like that cape and stuff. We took away the cape and those sleeves that she has. I don't know why. I don't know why either. To be fair, Gareth, because it should go like normally. No one else like mentioned anything. So when it comes to the design itself, I am actually focusing here on a couple things. So basically, like I'm going to give her those like long gloves, actually, that most of the jazz singers have. I've been here thinking it was Frozen, then I heard you, so I'm unsure. Huh. I am like genuinely, I'm confused about this. Maybe you know what? Today, actually, I've there's been like a lot of weird stuff going on both sides, actually, Twitch and Discord. So I think there might be something going on with the servers. Let's remember that both are using same Amazon servers, basically. So yeah, I think that would be cool. Cool. I think that makes sense. You know. Well, it's scuffed stream after coming back after 3 days of not streaming. So yeah. Yeah, so the main like change in the design is just going to be like, you know, changing her sleeves for those gloves that usually I think so too. Yeah. New Revolution Uprising. Imagine. I mean, it's probably just the fact that I don't know it's hot and servers are dying, or you know, recently there's been a lot of some problematic situations too. So I wouldn't be shocked if that would be it. Also, like you know, temperatures are rising. Um, Towers with internet might also have issues to like transmit data. It might show me something else, and in the meantime the data actually is going to have a stroke that's being you know transported. It overheats. Yeah, yeah, that exactly. That makes a lot of sense, to be fair. mm, the internet is getting sauteed into the oblivion. all those wires and rubber inside is just cooking. So also I want to make her use her side as a microphone. So I need to replicate that design, which is going to be a bit more of a pain in the neck. What's your art style? Anime. I'm drawing with anime. It's more lenient towards Rino Tuna. Mostly because I come from realism. I used to draw realistically. And I still come back from time to time to my roots, but mostly for myself only. On the internet, I'm not drawing realistically as much. Maybe share my artwork here and there when I really like it, but yeah, it's just mostly something so simple. So I'm going with Rino Tuna, like, you know, I've done a master study of his style actually, and yeah, it just stuck with me. It's a bit hard for me. Well, I get it. Like, realism has a lot of additional stuff that is going on, but actually, if you want to improve the most, learn realistic. I only make monsters. Ooh, okay. But I like winter more than summer, but autumn is the best. I really like springs and autumn because, like, I don't like having a lot put on myself, but I also don't like to melt when I'm going outside. Also, Gareth, that's interesting. Only monsters, huh? Well, one way or another, monsters also have humanoidal forms. Some of them, at least. The thing about, like, art styles, basically, is the fact that all of them are just, like, slightly changed realism. So, there's a rule. There's actually a rule for that. So, you want to treat every single art style not as art, or rather like a style. You want to take realism and just simplify a couple things that you find at the best for yourself. And that's going to give you the art style. Like your own art style. Like for me, I started noticing that I'm leaning more and more towards like what Rino Tuna does. So I was like, oh, okay, so like I literally started developing very same art style and just going to make master study of his to speed my process. And it worked. It actually worked. It did help me. It sped up my process whenever I'm stuck with something. You know, like, oh, I don't know how to draw that. I'm just going to Rino Tuna and checking how he is doing it. And basically, I'm solving my own problems because usually, like, solving problem like that, oh, how to draw something like this in my style, it's like a week of work. Can I still add realism? Yeah. I mean, to black and white? Yeah, of course. Coloring is not establishing your style. It's just the colors. Coloring has its own rules. Realism is most likely just for the sheer sake of how things are shaded and structured. You know, so for example, everything like characters are going to have like just realistic eyes instead of anime eyes, right? So that's what that is. Black and white can be used. It's like realistic. Realistic. It's like color preferences, And quite often you use black and white anyway, mostly for something called value. So value is very crucial for drawing because it helps to figure out for you like how dark something's supposed to be. So if I, for example, use like very dark tones, I don't think you still have the vision for it. But for example, if you go to your drawing tablet, right, and you're drawing up, and you make like a square of specific color, and drop the was it saturation? Yeah, it was saturation, and drop the saturation to 0. I only use pen and paper. Oh, I see. Well, that solves it too, because like just pencil and paper, black and white, that's like natural sorts of things. So yeah, like in all things regards, it doesn't really matter what colors you're using basically. So you don't have to force yourself to even get into colors. If you prefer black and white, go for it. Of course, like then it's more preferable. Yeah, exactly. Like if that's more preferable for you, then sure. Colors are something you can add later on when you are, for example, bored, or you want to just elaborate a little bit on your drawing. You know what I'm saying? So like, oh, I think I finished it normally, but I feel like I would want to work a little bit more on it. So you just start coloring. I have a bunch of those actually myself. Yeah. So yeah, you don't have to like. I think like a lot of things like, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? When it comes to art, it's actually coming from a lot of people from YouTube, like tutorial artists and stuff. Like, oh, you should do that, do it like this. But actually, it's much easier and faster for you to learn if you're like kind of coming up with some things on your own and using your preferences. Like just go with your gut, because that's what makes an artist. Thanks for the advice, of course. We'll have to change the feed though here. And yeah. Although I'm really happy because I've managed to feel while I was, on my 3D hiatus. I've actually figured out a couple things, like a lot of things. Like I had like literally a brain fog. I couldn't think about anything. I can't wait to start drawing again. Can't wait either, actually. I really enjoyed seeing your drawings, Ren. Still waiting for some more. So yeah, can't wait. Well, I usually use image, then change posture parts. You've seen them? No, I'm embarrassed. Ah, it's okay. I really like your drawings, Ren. You're drawing really well. Also, Gareth, well, I usually use image, then change posture parts. I'm a bit confused. What would that mean in this setup? Would that mean that you're like taking like someone else's monsters, or you're taking like some animal and you're building a monster out of that? How that process would go? yes. Also, you're taking someone else's designs and you're just making slight changes to them. Well, it's good method to like start learning, but I guess, you know, over time it would be good to like, you know, improve and do your own designs, you know. It would be less restricting to draw. I do actually recommend that because I was doing the same thing when I was younger, when I was starting, and actually, yeah, that does work. You know, it was working. It helped me really how to, you know, also mash them together. That's that's also good. I've been just doing random ideas and getting. I mean, that's Ren. That's actually what drawing is, right? You have a random idea and you just draw it. Mashing them together. Okay, that's mashing if you are not like actually photo mashing. So like you are not taking the images and just slicing out parts of it just to make the mash. That would be then using references off of that. So there's like, you know, there's a difference because you have redrawing, right? Redrawing, it's when you are seeing an image and like drawn image, for example, and you're copying it without placing paper on paper, right? So you're like copying by eye. Then you have referencing, when you are taking like bunch of photos and you are like using them as references, like, oh, I really like clothes on this monster, so I'm going to add this to mine. I really like scales here, so I'm going to add those to mine. I really like those horns, so I'm going to add this to mine. So like you are just taking like parts that you like and you are like building your own thing out of those stuff. That's called referencing. And then you have tracing, which is taking someone else's image and drawing on, placing a paper on top of that and like going with the lines that you see from that image, basically. And actually tracing is quite frowned upon. No, I don't trace. Yeah, it's okay. Now I see what you mean. You're just referencing. That's cool. Actually, that's healthy. Referencing is good for you. References are your best friends, so always have some references on you. I don't know why I am right now. I'm thinking about a monster, but they all have guns and swords. Oh my, oh my! Imagine. Also, wasn't there this game about like dinosaurs or with swords, basically? I really like making clothes. Ooh, seems cool, actually. Like a T-Rex with a pistol. Yeah, I think it was actually also the thing. Like you could have like guns too in that game. But yeah, you know, it's pretty dang good. I think a reference from Monster Hunter. That's a good reference source for monsters, actually. They have very special designs for monsters. Like it's something that you don't really see that often. Also, the sheer fact that they also make whole bestiary for that. and they just, you know, kind of like explain to you how the world works this way and how those monsters operate. I really like this one monster. Yeah. Mm, called Mistion, I think, is what it's called. Huh. No idea, actually. Huh. I'm trying to think about learning from lesson playlist. Like, uh, like completing a lesson for once. But that's good, actually. Mission. I think I heard about it. Um, what I really like was this, like, how this monster was called. I don't remember, but it was like a. It wasn't like a dragon or flying thing. It was just a beast. And it had like massive horns. It was considered a dragon actually, but like it had massive horns. Where do you take inspiration? References mostly. I have a Fantasia, so I can't really come up with many ideas myself, but I really enjoy, like, you know, scouring the internet, gather up some ideas from that. That's why I'm like, oh yeah, if I'm going to like draw, um, if I draw this character, I'm going to, you know, have this, and that, right? Is it Zoshia? No, I don't think so. Uh, hmm, was it that? Uh, no. I think it was like Bar. No, not Barioth. Although Barioth design is also good. Nargacuga is also really cool. Cool. Baroth. No, not Baroth. Shoot. Uh, Mr. Hunter Monster. I know it was black. So black monster with massive horns. Black Diablos. There we go. It was Diablos that I liked. I like Kirin. Wait, wings or arms? Arms. Diablos. Black Diablos was the one. I really like this one. Also, Nargacuga was pretty cool. I'm actually also not a huge like Monster Hunter player. Like I've played one game, but I made a few Diablos. Hell yeah. I've played was it Monster Hunter Worlds? Something like that? Where you could capture the monsters like Pokemons kinda. Any other Monster Hunter players actually in the chat? I think that's Stories. Yes, Stories, that one. Yeah. You're right. 100% right. I've only played Monster Hunter Stories. But I've heard a lot of goods. Go sleep now. Good night. Good night, Tran. Bye bye. Thank you for coming. I play a bit. That's cool. Kinda. Oh my. I remember Epic released that one online game that's supposed to be like Monster Hunter. A lot of people were like, yo, that's actually really cool. It's like actually like Monster Hunter. But they like made what, 3 monsters, and people like, oh, okay. And they didn't made any update for like 2 years, I think. And then they were like, hey yo, holy shit, actually, yo folks, do you remember that game that we've made like 2 years ago that had only like 3 monsters and it's supposed to be like Monster Hunter? Yeah, we like added some monsters, like look that, and they added like maybe 2, 3, 4 monsters maybe max. And yeah, the game just kind of died because no one wanted to play it anymore, because it was already like way too far, like way too past its interest time. So I think they closed off the game. I remember they've made like a massive event at the end. Oh yeah, actually, they've made like a massive event at the end, so everyone could like receive a bunch of stuff for free, just to play the game for and have fun for the last beat of it, right at the end of the servers in the last week. And they like added one last monster, which was actually groundbreaking, kind of, and it boosted people's interest. But like they were like, shit, like people are now like like to play our game again, like, and we're ending the service, so damn. Yeah, Epic kind of messed up on that one. Like all they had to do was like just adding monsters, and they had resources and possibility to add monsters like even every 2 week, like every 2 weeks. I agree. Yeah. Uh, they had resources to add new monster every 2 weeks and like actually make the game huge. And to be fair, probably it would kill off Monster Hunter. But they kind of messed up with it. Yeah. But to be fair, a couple games were like this. Uh like games which had a really cool idea, people were really stoked for the game, but I don't like how Nergigante looks. Oh yeah, Nergigante was also really cool. Yeah. I really like that one too. But yeah. Also, to be fair, just because of my aphantasia and how I'm taking my inspirations, that's why you might not really see me as often drawing OCs, basically, or like, quote unquote original pieces, because for me, like coming up with ideas for me, it's very like restrictive, if that makes sense. And I can't really, for the life of me, I can't really like get my stuff together with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of stuck with taking VTubers or anime characters as my ideas and then just drawing them. So yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, I'm just generally like drawing anime characters and VTubers just because of that. Clothes. How did you learn how to draw clothes? Actually, the same way that I draw, that I learn everything. I was just making studies. Like I was taking bunch of like real life photos with clothes and stuff. And I was just learning how to. I was just analyzing how they are like folding and stuff, right? Also, there's like a book about, well, book, actually you can find those informations on like on anything anywhere else on the internet too. So it's like a theory about like types of folds and how mostly the like every single type of cloth reacts to what kind of movement and pinch. So that actually helped really with understanding a lot of stuff related to it, to be fair. And yeah. Okay. Yeah. If you, so here's the thing. Like the main theory that you want to learn, everything is realism. So clothes, fruits, any other food, animal, human, everything. It's just realism. But it's up to you how you are going to draw, how you are going to interpret that realism. So there's nothing that you cannot learn from realistic photos. And another one, always use reference photos. We have something called visual library, and we can learn how something looks like. That's why they're appearing in our brains when we're imagining, right? By theory. Of course, as long as you have you can imagine, right? If you have a fantasia, then welcome to the club. You don't have access to that, you know, visual library either. But basically, you can't memorize how something looks like within 100%. It's humanly impossible to memorize structure of everything dot to dot. Like max, apparently, that you can learn is roughly 70%. If you are spending a lot of time and your brain is like excellent with like, you know, visual memory and stuff, you'll be able to only bring out roughly 90% of that construction. I have a hard time imagining objects and things. That might be hypophantasia. So because there's like bunch of like levels of imagination. You have like normal imagination, and like it's like dead center, and then you have like hypo fantasia, which is like, oh, I can like imagine, so some like simple shapes with dark colors and stuff, and that's like the best I can do, give or take. Aphantasia, which is like absolute lack of imagination. Like you can't even create those like simple shapes in your brain. And then you have hyperphantasia, which is like excessive amount of imagination, where you actually can memorize this higher percentile of the item visually, but you are more how to say this? You are more susceptible for having situations where you are daydreaming. So like you're closing yourself off from reality with your imagination. Also, that's a really interesting lecture to read about, imaginations and stuff, because makes sense. Yeah. Because actually this whole thing about hypophantasia, hyperphantasia, aphantasia and stuff, it was discovered in 2016, like 10 years ago only. It was like as fresh, like groundbreaking thing as possible. Like I think you can still have a bunch of like new discoveries, but you don't come up with so many groundbreaking stuff, because like a lot of people had like imagine, and like some people had difficulties with geometry and stuff, like me for example, or trigonometry, and like it was always like, oh, just imagine a cube and rotate it in your brain, in your head, and you're like, how? How does that make sense? Because like you're right, for you it's normal. It's not like everyone is saying like, oh, like everyone's supposed to see images in their heads and that's imagination. No, for me it was just creative thinking, because like I was drawing and nobody ever told me that I supposed to see something in my head. So for me it was just like, like, oh, it's just creative thinking. You have such a good imagination. You think so creatively. And I'm like, at certain point, like at school, I was like, talking with my teacher, and like, I was kind of frustrated because like she was literally doing this on purpose, right? And like, what can I do here? Like, it doesn't make sense for me. And she's like, just rotate it. Like, how am I supposed to rotate it? It's like 2D plane. Like, I'm drawing it. I can't rotate it. I don't have it in my hands. Like, just imagine the cube and rotate in your head. Like what? It was like really confusing part for me, because like I never even thought that something like that could even be possible. Like seeing something in your head. Like I knew a lot about like some processes and stuff, right? Like how some people are basically acting with all that. But like for me it's just like, damn, and like in 2016 they came up with that thing, like, oh hey, actually, so we've noticed that some people don't see images in their heads, so it's going to be called aphantasia, and now people can even like diagnose themselves. Do you see images in your head? No, you have aphantasia. You can barely create some envisionment in your head? Yes. Well, then that's hypophantasia. I remember like a lot of artists actually, like when that came up in 2016, this was actually like, I wouldn't even know how to, yeah, that's the thing. So like, apparently it's and to be fair, because like, oh, you don't have imagination because you spend your whole life in front of the PC and stuff, and like you don't have imagination because you weren't like creatively active. Like my family didn't have as much luck, if you know what I mean. So we had only one PC for a really long time. And I'm the youngest one from my siblings. So you can imagine that I was the one with the least amount of time on PC. And I didn't like watching cartoons. So I was spending my days drawing. And I was only drawing. And it didn't create the imagination for me. And playing on PC is not causing reduction in imagination. So definitely there's like a different thing going on about it, you know? It's like very, yeah, like very confusing dilemma. Because like at some point, like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe there is like something killing the imagination, but actually, like, cool, there might be something killing the imagination, but there's still like it still means that you can be born without it. So like what is causing it? Is there a chance that we could potentially like actually create imagination for people with aphantasia at some point? How would that work? You know? So I'm now just, standing here like I'm still standing. Without drawing, being an artist without imagination, living my best dream, and just freaking proving so many like professional artists say declaring that, hey, you know what, if you don't have imagination, just surrender because you won't make it. And here I am still making like original concepts and stuff, but without imagination. I guess it's also the fact that I kind of created a different method to create those concepts. Because for me, it's like I'm just thinking, I'm thinking the book like descriptions. So that actually helps a lot, That actually helps a lot. But also like you need to be in a good shape to just think of like a good idea for it. Quite often for me it's like, oh, I've got this, it's time to expand it a little bit. All I really do is just something, then I think of something, then just switch onto autopilot. I mean, that also works, That's also how many artists are operating. Like, for example, I'm from time to time, recently, I've been also like going full on autopilot, you know? Just thinking quickly for an idea and just switching to muscle memory. Like, for example, in this illustration too, like I just switched to like, muscle memory and that. I think it happens to everyone. Well, it depends actually. Also, there are people who don't have inner voice, so like they can't think. So that also changes everything. But I guess like, you know, I've heard that some people can't even think like about like really long sentences, and I'm within my head just coming up with like whole dialogues and like whole scenes described into like massive like description. And like, you know, maybe it's also a matter of fact that some, like, you know, kind of like with senses, right? Like if you don't have one thing, another thing is like sparking a lot, like it's getting stronger, because those people who don't have that inner voice actually have a really great imagination quite often. Yeah. Hmm. To be fair, my friend actually could, like, at some point she didn't know that there's something called thinking, and she thought that she hears voices in her head. It was kind of funny, but at some point, like, okay, that's like not really funny. She literally went to like psychiatrist to check herself up, and it's just, you know, she came back and like, oh yeah, how was it? And like, turns out everyone can hear voice in their head that there's like telling them stuff that they kind of want to hear. And like, yeah, it's called thinking. It was just that. Do you think that a lot of people go to freaking like asylums just because they had no idea that, you know, there's something like an inner voice and thinking? Yeah, I think so. Hmm. Okay. And we need like a small, over here we need like a small diamond shape like this, and this portion is now going like that, and that is like this. Okay. It's like very confusing, you know, portion on her dress. It's like, god damn, how am I supposed to even do that? I guess if I'm going to be like, if I want to be clever, I guess I would just make like a small diamond here and slightly bigger diamond here, and just, you know, compare the diamonds like that. Yeah, that works. Okay. Hell yeah. Okay. Alrighty. I guess that makes sense. Okay. And we're almost done with the sketch. That one was a bit confusing because of like placement of her. I'm going to also check up a couple more things, like why Twitch had some problems with showing the view for people. And yeah, folks, as always, thank you all so much for coming today, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Take care and bye bye.